The University Tower chimes begin another session of Ask the Professor, the show on which you match wits with University of Detroit Mercy professors in an unrehearsed session of questions and answers. I'm your host, Matt Mayo, and let me introduce to you our panel for today. To my left, from the Department of Philosophy, it's Professor Beth Oljar.
Hi, Matt. Good to be here.
Yes, thanks for the... Well, I haven't even gotten the thing that you sent me yet. But thanks anyway. Thanks in advance.
Thanks in advance for the funny text you sent me.
Oh, my gosh. I'm sorry. I also laughed extra out loud because someone sent me this week this on-fire, lifelike skeleton cartoon sitting in front of an old CRT monitor. And behind the skeleton, it says, "We hope this email finds you well." I'm like, oh, that sort of approximates my day-to-day life. So I printed it out and I put it at work and I put it on the fridge at home. So it's like, yeah, this is like the way that we work around here.
That's right.
So who's driving you wild? I saw. Is that the intro book that you had in there a second ago?
The big fat one?
Yeah.
No, that's for early modern.
Early modern.
Descartes
okay.
to Kant.
So that's a big deal. I mean, that's every other year's kind of course, or?
Marty and I alternate it usually, but I haven't taught it in a while, which is why I feel like so uncertain and sort of discombobulated with respect to it. But yeah, we have a cycle for the history courses, so we're always running at least one every semester. So
That's
ancient,
cool.
Medieval, early modern, contemporary.
Nice.
But for, it's the philosopher's sense of time. So for us, the modern period is 1641 to 1787, right? So
I was about to say, but those guys weren't alive last week, so...
That's right.
Yeah, that's all right. There's postmodern, postmodern, that's the way it
There's
works.
5 minutes we're never going to get back again, worrying about postmodernism.
Professor Stephen Manning is also here with us. You're looking really orange today.
Orange.
It's good because then you don't get run over when you run.
I was mentioning my color. Last year you mentioned my red shirt. Today it's orange.
It is. It's quite bright. It's almost like you're rooting for the Netherlands.
Or you're wearing the colors of my high school, which is really kind of
There
sad.
you go.
But
Because it's the Oregon State colors, I believe, are black and orange, right?
but also Beaverton High School.
Beaverton High School.
Home of the Beavers.
Wow.
But I mean, there's a reason why you wear colors like that when you're running, right? I mean, you want to make sure people see you and stuff like that.
Yeah. Although I drove the car here.
Okay.
We ran this morning, but I didn't wear this. But yes, you're right.
Well, that's the tech shirt that they gave us for the Belle Isle New Year's Eve run.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, just from the previous year. Yeah.
Yeah, New Year's a couple of months ago.
The year before it was nicer, I think.
That seems like a lot of effort to put in to get a piece of clothing, having to run a...
That's not why we do it, Beth.
Technically, we pay.
Although, having said that, though, when we
funny.
when we get something chintzy, we're really pissed off.
Yeah, that's right.
When we get a chintzy, even when we get like a cotton, like a cotton T-shirt, long sleeve or short sleeve, we don't want that.
Cotton.
We don't
You
want
can't
that. We
run
want
in cotton.
The
we want stuff we
microfiber.
run in. Yeah,
Exactly.
the stuff that
When we
Wicks.
when we do like the half marathon, well, we've seen signs in Canada. They're so funny there across the border. Signs will say, "This is what you paid for," and a banana.
Yeah, they're very funny. They're very creative over there.
They
'Cause
are.
You go over the bridge, and then it's Riverside Drive.
Right.
You come back and come through the tunnel.
Sure.
And there are a lot of people out there, a lot of housing. People
it's
out there.
very
The
nice.
signs are very creative. They're very funny, far more than the Americans
I
are.
know. It's really
awesome.
cool. Yeah, you paid. This is what you got. Get
Yeah.
for
You paid for this?
You paid for. Remember, you paid for this.
And at that
a
point,
banana.
we're at like 5 or 6 miles, and it's beginning to hurt a little bit. And we're saying, they got a
They
point.
got a point. Because you got to
And
pay. You got
I
to
did
pay
this.
to run.
Why?
We could be home having brunch or something.
Or sleeping.
Sleeping.
Yeah, I mean, these races can cost, $20, $30, $40 a person
Sheesh.
just to enter.
The Thanksgiving one we've done at the city of Detroit thing,
Sure.
the parade thing.
Right.
Terrible. We won't do it anymore.
we don't
We
do
did a
that one.
different one up by Somerset this past year.
Yeah, that one was
It
fun.
was better, yeah.
You're referring to the one they called the Turkey Trot, or is there a different version of it?
You've done that one before,
Turkey
I
Trot's
know.
like a free-for-all, right? It's not really organized.
The downtown turkey trot is an organized one, and it's
Oh, okay.
what you get for what you do
I see.
and
Yeah.
pay, it's not worth it.
Not
Well,
even a
and we
banana.
finished, and
We've
we
been.
we finished, and we're certainly, I don't know if we did a 5 or 10K.
We're off that
We
one.
finished,
We
and,
did a
and
10.
we're certainly not at the front of the,
Got it.
you know, we take our time, to put it mildly. We get there, and they had these, the water, you know, you always have water.
Sure.
Thing, when you finish. The water was on these huge pallets. It wasn't even unwrapped yet. And people finished way ahead of us.
Right. I
And
get it.
where's the water? They hadn't even cut the, you know, they're in
love it.
the wrap stuff.
I love it.
But our next one is a week from tomorrow.
Yeah, the Punchki run.
Punchki run.
Yes,
Oh.
Punchki run.
Do you eat punchkis along the way?
Punchki, and
It's
we
in
drink beer.
Hamtramck.
And we drink beer.
And for your
Really? You're
entry
serious?
fee,
And this year,
for your entry fee, you not only get a tech shirt, but you get a punchki and a beer.
This year,
And this year, they're doing vodka
a
shots.
shot of vodka.
I hope this is all at the
Punchki
end.
flavored vodka. I think
In
it's
the
punchki
end.
flavored.
At
I
the
hope it's
end
not
of the
Punchki.
marathon?
Yes,
I
at
mean,
the
Oh,
end.
yes.
thinking if you're doing the vodka shots while you're running,
And
you might
already,
run in the wrong direction.
I'm already thinking, so you do this, you get the vodka shot, how do they know? I mean, can you get like back in the back of the line and go through a few times?
There's a way. No, there's a
Trying to
way.
game the
They're going to
system.
stamp you. They're going to stamp your
yeah,
thing or
yeah.
something.
Or I hope it's
and
not.
it's in the morning. I mean, so
Yeah,
you're-
yeah. It's
So you don't
like-
eat a punchki before or during the race?
no after.
No, no.
Well, wouldn't it be more fun if you did?
No.
I think it might hurt a little bit. Those, of course, being the dulcet tones of Professor Dan Maggio of the first organization, who almost jumped out of his chair at the word punchki.
Punchki.
And why the heck
How
not?
many marathons have I run?
0.0.
I wouldn't necessarily call this a marathon, so don't worry
You've
about
seen
it.
those things on the back of cars.
Absolutely.
Yes.
0.0 is my speed too. Don't worry. So what's going on, Dan? Do you have any plans for Fat Tuesday? This is important stuff.
I forget what. No, I don't.
Dan's
When is Fat Tuesday?
plans?
It's 2 weeks. 2 weeks away.
Okay. But I am looking forward to the fish fries. I'm already lining up like all the nights.
I think you're really the only genuine Catholic here. So.
I'm just, just
Yeah,
trying to
you
keep
actually
everything in
give
order.
something up
Can we
for
expect
Lent.
shrines, fish
That's
bake
a good question.
return?
I mean, this would be the year to come back. Shrine is doing a punchki on the porch. And you don't even have to register ahead of time. You show up at the church, you get donuts. I'm like, this is my kind of event.
I never heard of punchkis before I moved here.
Well, it's a big deal around
Yeah.
here. It's a
Just
big
don't
deal.
get a prune
I never
one.
did either.
Prune is the original, but it's not the best.
That's the
flavor.
original? Really?
The
didn't
original
know
is
that.
prune. Yeah.
Yep.
That, of course, is the voice of Professor Heather Hill from English. Yes, bringing up the prune punchki.
The prune punchki, which I think actually last year when we did the punchki run, I grabbed a prune one by accident and did not finish it.
Okay.
Had to rush home, did we?
No, actually, because then we went to the beer tent.
After eating prudes,
Yeah, well,
you're
well,
really
no,
pushing
no,
it.
no,
Anna.
no, no, no.
That's just.
You know, it's so weird to like be in the cold air after like running 3 miles and then get that cold beer. I mean, I don't know. There's something kind of cool about it.
It really is.
Then you go home, take a shower, and crawl into bed.
Well, it's kind of counterintuitive. You feel like a hot cocoa or something. It's counterintuitive, but that
But
beer is.
it tastes good, man.
Well, yeah, but that's presumably because you're sweating, right, when you run, so
Yeah.
you be a little
Beer is
dehydrated.
also dehydrating. Yeah.
Streets of downtown Hamtramck.
What are we talking, by the way? I've actually wanted to ask this for the last couple of years that you've talked about it. What beer? This isn't like a Stroh's or anything, is it?
No, they
I was just thinking that, and
usually-
I don't know.
It's usually like a local
It's
beer.
a local. Yeah.
Usually you have two choices, and one is usually better than the other.
We are a great beer state.
You remember more than me. We will report back.
Please.
and
we'll-
on the vodka shot. Too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But if I have to choose between the beer and the vodka, what am I going to do?
Vodka. Well,
I would say both is what I would say.
Well, I hope that that's the case.
But do the
we
vodka
will have earned it.
first.
although, never mix, never work.
Why would you do that? Why do
Float
that?
the
Beer
vodka.
before liquor, never been sicker. Liquor before beer, you're in the clear. You know.
What
just
if I
put it-
float the vodka in
Oh my
the
gosh,
beer?
you're doing.
Oh,
that.
a Boilermaker,
Oh my
a variation
gosh.
of a Boilermaker,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, we have
Okay.
questions.
Yes, we do. Because, this is a program where you send us questions regarding anything.
We forgot about that part.
If you stump the panel,
Sorry.
you win a prize. If you don't stump the panel,
Still
you win a
talking about
prize.
food, though.
You can send the questions to us in a number of ways. Emailing us at atp@uwmercy.edu. Find us on Facebook or Instagram, or listen on your favorite smart speaker by asking it to play Ask the Professor at University of Detroit Mercy. So here is where we find ourselves. Are you ready? Dear Profs, why do I listen to Ask the Professor?
Is that the
Listening-
question?
Because
We answering that, or
Listening to ATP brings me back to my college days. I graduated from college in the 80s, and listening to your show is the closest I will come to enjoying the intellectual stimulation of the academy. This leads me to my
graduated in
question
the '80s too?
for today's show. Attached are 7 questions concerning memorable classes I took in college. You will earn a passing score answering 5 of the questions correctly. This is the best part. Sincerely, it's our old friend, Alan Ira from Palm Springs, California. P.S. I am an occasional submitter of questions to your show. Absolutely, Alan.
Excellent.
We recognize your
Awesome.
name.
Thank
you.
And
Thank
we
you.
appreciate the personal nature of these. These are
But did
gonna
he
be
say where he
tons
went
of
to,
fun.
where he graduated from?
No, I'm wondering whether that may show up in the questions, but yeah, we'll see. They're related to the
Maybe we have to guess
courses.
the class
Yes,
that they were in.
yes, I think that's where this is headed. I was required, number 1, I was required to take an ethnic studies class to receive my bachelor's degree. Frankly, I was not interested. However, the ethnic studies class I enrolled in turned out to be one of the most fulfilling courses I ever took.
Nice.
One assignment required students to ask their parent or parents how and why their family immigrated to America. Each student then had to write an essay on what was learned. What do you think the title of the course was? It's fairly specific.
Coming to America.
I'm partial credit.
Ethnic
100%.
Studies 101.
Getting closer. Getting close. Ethnic is in the title of the course. It's a 2-word title. Ethnic is the first word.
Ethnic exploration.
Getting closer. The second word starts with the letter G.
Ethnic awareness.
Gee.
Ethnic G.
Grazing.
So it had to do with, remember, where your family immigrated to
Genealogy.
America from.
Oh,
Getting closer.
Geography.
It's actually geography. Ethnic geography is the scientific study of ethnic distribution, including how and why different ethnic communities form in particular geographic areas.
That would be interesting.
Yes.
except in America. It's the only country based on an idea.
Yeah, that is true. I was about to say, and the level 2 course, maybe it should be the level 1 course, is diaspora, but we'll talk about that at a completely different time. Yes. These are the people who chose to come to the United States.
Just watch
Be a
Coming
part of
to
something.
America.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Good for comedy. I majored, Alan tells us, in political science. How interesting.
Way to go, Alan.
Good choice.
One of the courses I took was called Political Philosophy.
That
One
we
of the
both teach.
authors
Yeah.
were assigned to read it penned by a famous essay about the cause of conflicts between societies. This author was best known for a field outside of political science proper. He coined the term narcissism of small differences. Who coined that term?
Is this Montesquieu?
No, that's not what it says here. This author was best known for a field outside of
Yeah,
political
outside,
science.
so he wasn't political.
And he coined the term narcissism of small differences.
I've heard that phrase.
I don't know if I would have come across this in my brain.
Can you tell us his discipline?
I think it would give it away, but I will do it anyway.
Adam Smith?
Hardcore psychology, yes.
Psychology. Freud.
It was Freud. Sigmund Freud came up with the narcissism of small differences. Yes. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I think that I would look to this side of the table. Did Freud write about politics a lot?
Not that
or
I know of.
philosophy a lot? I don't know.
Well, you know,
Okay.
it's like everything else. If you think that politics is ubiquitous as I do,
It is.
the answer would be yes.
Which it sort of is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just finished reading a book on politics and opera
Oh my gosh.
to give an example of the ubiquity of the discipline.
Clearly.
Now, Alan didn't say that was his favorite course.
Well, he majored, though.
He
He
majored.
was a
in-
major.
Yeah, he was a political science major.
Yeah,
Did you read A Year in Provence yet?
I did. Yes,
Did you like it?
thank you very much.
We're all over the place
Very much.
today, folks.
It's okay. We're having fun. My apologies
More
to
food.
Professor Mayo. Apology accepted. I was not interested in science when I was in college, so I took the easiest course I could find to fulfill the science graduation requirement.
Nothing wrong with
Unfortunately,
that.
the class was more difficult than anticipated.
Yeah.
It usually is if it's science.
What do you think was the title of the class? His hint is it was a basic botany class. Go into comedy mode and see if you can guess what the title of the course was.
Plants for ants.
Getting pretty darn close.
Plants.
It's like geology was rocks for jocks, right?
Right. Oh, yeah, rocks
yeah.
for jocks. Yeah.
Something like plants for the plant killer.
Plants for people who can't keep a plant alive
That
at
would
home.
be me.
No, that's not what it was.
Flowers for non-geeks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give Heather one chance to score a point here, and then we'll just
Heather,
go forward.
Heather.
Because it's all, you know.
Botany for photony.
Yeah. All right. So it was just called World of Plants.
World
like
of
you signed up
Plants.
for a class, World of Plants, you know. It's like a rejected Disney World item.
The
you know.
math class I took was actually called Math for Non-Math Majors.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
It's very explicit.
It's a very creative title.
Although, speaking of, that was the first scientific concept I ever really remember learning in school was photosynthesis.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
We
It's a
learned that
big
like
deal.
in first, second grade,
No,
right?
see.
About plants converting light into, and I thought it was really cool.
And you feel like a badass when you say the word, no matter what your age is. You know, like, oh, we learned about photosynthesis today. Absolutely.
I felt so smart.
I also laughed because somebody started printing full, essentially, you know, flag-sized flags with block lettering on them recently, and I've actually seen them flown outside of people's houses or like shown at like an NFL game. We choose to do this not because we thought it would. I already screwed it up. I'm never going to have to edit it out, Michael. I'm
Back
so
it up.
sorry. What is it? We choose to do this. I forget it.
All right, well, maybe we'll come back to that later, folks.
We'll put a pin in that. And
I'll have
wait
to
till
check
you
it on my
remember
phone.
it.
It was really funny in my head.
Yeah, that was hysterical.
All right. Friday afternoon.
Late Friday.
While in college, I was a member of one of the university's teams for 4 years. Can you guess the team I was on? Please don't spend too much time arguing
Debate?
over the question. Yeah, he was on the debate.
Oh.
team. Absolutely.
How'd we get
I was going to say philosophy, but same thing.
I was
more or
going to
less.
say UN, Model UN.
Model UN's a
Did
good
they
one.
do that in college?
But do they call that a
Yeah, we've
team,
done it
though,
here.
Stephen? Do they call it a team? It's like, not
Well,
really.
yeah, it's
I
a
think
group
so.
of people, sure. Yeah, and you go as a team. The school goes as a team.
I don't accept that.
I used to do it.
Yeah, but the debate team is an actual thing. That's what it's
And this
known
is
as.
Taking
Debate
8
team?
students representing a particular country to Toronto is not a team.
Moving on.
Yeah,
Moving on.
chili without beans.
Oh, my gosh.
Obviously,
Cross show talk.
Has-
While in college, I took a beginning acting class. One of the plays we analyzed was written by Heinrich Ibsen. According to Wikipedia, the play is considered, quote, a masterpiece within
Doll's
the
House?
genres
Doll's House?
of literal realism, 19th century theater, and world drama. What is the title of that play? It is not A Doll's House.
Ibsen.
Two-word title. Two-word title. Initials of the title, HG. I believe
Oh,
it
it's
is.
a woman's name, isn't it?
It's a-
Helga Gabler.
Basically,
Hedda
yeah.
Gabler.
Hedda
Hedda
Gabler.
Gabler.
Yes.
Yeah.
A masterpiece within the genres of literary realism, 19th century theater, and world drama.
That was a
Hedda
trick
Gabler,
question because everybody thought it would be Doll's House.
Well, why isn't he taking any philosophy classes? That's what I want to
We
know.
got a couple more questions to go.
There's time.
Chill
I
your
mean, we did have
jets.
philosophy get a call out with the Sigmund Freud.
He didn't have a
question.
poli-sci advisor that told him to take philosophy class.
Ah, that's always the
That's
problem. Yeah.
The college I went to, I think that's probably as close as we're getting, had courses that studied famous American cities. That's kind of cool. I took a class about San Francisco. According to the professor who taught the course, why were there so many fires after the 1906 San Francisco earthquake?
Because it ruptured gas lines?
Gas lines.
I think that's a good guess, but that's not what it says here. He did do a good job, according to the professor who taught my course. You know, so there's a little bit of English on this. No pun intended.
Why were there so many
A lot of the
fires?
city lighting was by gas.
Or kerosene or something.
Or
right?
something,
So you
yeah.
still would have
That's
been.
true. Mm-hmm. Yep.
least little breeze burns the city down.
I remember, Leslie and I had our honeymoon in San Francisco.
Oh.
We visited a couple other times since then. And this is the sort of like popular logic, since it's been over 100 years, that people say about the great San Francisco earthquake of 1906.
Were people cooking in their houses more or something like that?
Getting closer, a little bit closer. So it's not the gas.
It's a heating?
No, not
No?
a heating thing. No,
Fireworks?
no. And it's not the coldest winter I ever spent was a summer in San Francisco, Mark Twain, one of my favorite quotes of all time. No, they did it on purpose because mostly the insurance of the day would not cover a building if it was damaged by earthquake, but if it was
Arson.
destroyed by a fire.
Really? Okay.
It's kind of sad.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I was
Sad but
not
interesting.
expecting that.
It's fraud, exactly. Oh my gosh. I think it's wild because we had a question like this a few shows ago where we were remembering great books that we read when we were in undergrad. And this is great that Alan just sits down and he can pound out 7 questions about very specific things he remembers from those courses, which I think we all could do, you know, at some level. This is the last one. I guess there is no philosophy question. I'm sorry. In my senior year, I took a very popular class. It had more than 100 students enrolled and was taught in an overpacked auditorium. The professor showed movies. I cannot ask you specific questions about the course. ATP will probably censor any question that I could ask. What do you think was the title of the course?
Pornography 101.
Film?
I'll give you partial credit. I'm thinking in a very strong Carol Weisfeld direction here. If you remember the courses she used to teach for us.
Yeah.
Sex.
Sexuality.
Human
Sex.
sexuality.
Yep.
Yeah, human sexuality.
I took that course as an undergraduate. It was great.
Very popular course, Alan says. That's cool. Thanks for those questions, Alan. Those were personal and fun, and everybody got to answer a couple things. And I think,
Let's ask Alan to tell us where he went to college.
yeah, we need to know,
curious.
Alan. You got to send it.
Yeah,
to
those are
us.
good questions,
Absolutely.
actually.
Very, very good.
Fun.
Okay, so we are where we find ourselves very often with a couple minutes left in the show to go to the list of Frank Burroughs and the Family Burroughs Imponderables. 20 new imponderables for your fine show. What shall we take a look at here? Oh, okay. This, goes exactly where I expect it would go. So your midnight snacking. What are you eating for your midnight snack? It's been a while since I've snacked at midnight, but
Yeah.
I'm going to have to think about this one.
But nothing makes me happier than getting in bed at the end of the day with my book and a snack, and all I have to do is eat and read and go to sleep. It's like, this is what everyone should do
A
with all of
triumvirate
their time.
of pleasures. Eat, sleep, read a book. I love it. Probably not in that order, but yeah. Okay.
Chips of some description.
Sure.
I need something salty, crunchy, or I can't believe I'm actually confessing this, top ramen noodles.
Oh, come on. That's wonderful. Top ramen. Let's do this.
Yeah, you probably don't need to eat 3 packages in one sitting, but
Yeah, I'm going to be really worried
I can
about
do
your
that.
sodium intake, but otherwise, yes. Look, there are a lot of
really
people.
the bad part is the sodium intake.
There are a lot of people that buy those blocks. I mean, we've done this a couple times, not much recently. Those blocks of ramen are cheapo,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We're living in an inflation world. If you just take the noodle block,
Yeah.
you can get some stuff done with that. Just
Sure.
don't use
Yeah.
the flavoring
Yep.
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or use your own flavoring, you know? So.
Matt, it's not ramen if you don't eat the,
I've
little
seen-
packets of flavored salt.
I've seen recipes for ramen noodles, so you don't
sure.
use the stuff. They're all over the place, and bone broth, and you make a.
Yeah, that's what you would do. That's not.
I'm gonna steal it and just stay right where you are, Beth, because when I was a freshman at Detroit Mercy, so first year, 1993, I got a gigantic paper ream size box wrapped for Christmas from my younger brother. And when I opened it, it was perfectly Tetris style packed with the packs of ramen. He's like, this whole box cost me $5. Don't college kids like ramen? And then I just opened this box to everybody on my floor over in East Quad. And over many weeks, we're kind of picking through near the end the flavors that people didn't really like or, left and stuff. But I think it may have kept the entire dorm fueled for about a month after Christmas that year. So,
Nice.
yeah. And that is classic midnight snacking for college students. Time to study.
That's probably when I started. Yeah, that sounds about right. College.
Yep, there you go. Midnight snacking. Heather, Dan, Steven.
I don't snack. I don't do it. No. I mean,
Well, I don't snack
a
exactly at
cookie.
midnight. I'm usually asleep. But
or pretzel, but I'm not a, like before I go to bed kind of snacker. Maybe a cookie.
Yeah, I don't,
Sorry.
I don't snack.
I have to give you a better answer.
sugar-free popsicles.
The ice cream joint
Okay,
up by us
in the summer
opened.
ice cream, actually.
Yeah.
In the ice
See,
cream.
there you go. Dairy Deluxe opened on Wednesday, and so of course we did our traditional family portrait because they usually open on February 1st, but they stayed closed because it was -30 or whatever those days.
There's
yeah.
supposed to be a new ice cream place in Berkeley that sells, is it ice cream on a stick?
Bombshell Treat Bar is coming to Berkeley. Yes. Hardcore good chocolate from what I
Okay.
hear. We need endorsements, folks. We need endorsements.
Yeah.
So, but ice cream is good because some
I'll
of those
say ice
places
cream.
are open till 10 p.m. and the sun is still out. You're like, let's go get some
How
ice
about
cream.
leftover popcorn?
That's awesome.
Sure.
Popcorn's great.
Like
That is a
leftover
good one.
popcorn that you've brought home from the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And I have to say, isn't this like the 50th year anniversary of Schoolhouse Rocks?
Yes.
I think there was a special on the other
I just
day.
wanted
Yeah,
to
a
get
couple-
that
a
in there.
couple
It
weeks
seemed an
ago.
appropriate thing to mention on this program.
Where we all learned how things got passed in Congress.
That's right.
I
On a
still
bill.
remember it.
So, Stephen, if you had to say something,
What kind of chili would Stephen Manning cook at midnight?
how about apples with peanut butter?
Apples with peanut butter is a snack. Well, if I'm home a lot more than I used to be, obviously, and so I sometimes come down to the kitchen, take a break, and try to avoid all the bad stuff. But my go-to thing is an apple, a Honeycrisp apple cut up with peanut butter on it, which
Beautiful.
is healthy. And of course, the dog. Any inkling that there might be any sort of food involved, the dog shows up and begs, and so he ends up getting half of the apple with peanut butter.
He loves both of those things. Yeah, yeah. He
Yeah.
turns 8 on Tuesday.
Oh my gosh.
Or-
8 human years?
No, 8 animal years.
Dog years.
Got it.
It's about 56.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is it 7
8
years?
times 7.
8 sevens? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's wild.
He's a middle-aged pup.
Eight puppy.
So handsome.
He's so handsome.
I was going to ask what your apple of choice is because we get into great debates at the Mayo House where the snobbiest of all of us is at the Cosmic Crisp level, where it's a Honeycrisp flavored apple, but apparently it will last forever on a shelf. And they're also $150 bajillion each.
Pink ladies.
Yeah.
I like
ladies are
pink
also
ladies too.
We like pink
Pink
ladies.
ladies are very good.
Depends on what's in season and what's not. $50 billion at Westbourne.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly.
See more pink ladies in the summer, I think.
That's the thing I spend the most money on, probably after
Apples?
a house payment. No, food.
Oh,
I mean,
food
other
in
than house payment or something, that's probably the thing now that
Yeah, that and
'cause
gas.
I like to
right?
eat and I like to eat good food and I'm willing to pay for it usually.
Yeah.
I mean, like those grapes at Westport are now $5 a pound, but they're so good.
Those are
They're
good grapes.
Good grapes.
They've spoiled me. I can't buy grapes at Meyer anymore.
I mean, Drew and I can eat a bag of those just as a side for dinner to have as a fruit or veg.
Red grapes are the ones.
No, the
you're talking-
the green ones.
Okay, big green ones. Got it.
Some of them are literally like the
Yeah.
size of small golf
No,
balls.
it's true. It's
They're
true.
huge.
We really had some super sweet ones we got at Eastern Market once, remember?
Oh, those were really good.
There was some
too.
special, I forget the name of them, but they were,
Got them at Eastern Market.
yeah. Oh, they were so sweet.
Oh my gosh.
Best grapes are, but puppies can't have breaks.
We've ended up on food all
I'm
What a
shocked.
Again.
surprise.
again.
We end up on food.
Speaking of puppy,
Speaking of puppy,
he needs a walk.
oh jeez. Well, then I'm afraid we're not necessarily out of time, but I think that we've run out of things to talk about, and it's Michael's job to stretch the episode.
I'm doing breakfast for dinner tonight, though, which Dan is like the only other person I know who really loves breakfast for dinner as much as
I love breakfast for
we.
dinner.
Oh yeah.
Let's crack open a can of corned beef hash and have a summit on
I
this.
like corned beef hash.
serious.
Oh, Stephen made really good BLTs for lunch today. They were so good. I hadn't had one in so long. They
Probably
were just so
tastes
good.
great.
I was really hungry.
Yeah, those are good.
I'm afraid The time has come for us to say goodbye, Heather.
So we did stretch it
But
out.
not prune punchkis.
Dan,
Goodbye.
Stephen,
Goodbye.
and Beth.
Goodbye.
And now these words from University of Detroit Mercy. Ask the Professor is transcribed at the Toasty facilities of the Briggs Building in the Department of Communication Studies and the College of Liberal Arts and Education at University of Detroit Mercy's McNichols campus. Ask the Professor is produced and technically directed by Michael Jason and Brian Masonville, and of course John, and our executive producer is Professor Jason Roach. Until next week, I'm your host, Matt Mayo.